look how beautiful that glow is. Oh, it's just stunning. It is so good. Hey guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for this video because we're doing something we've never done before on this channel. We're talking top 3 makeup products per category in each makeup category, at least that I could think of. I'm really excited to do this video because there are some really good things, and it took me a while to kind of sift through, but I feel like a lot of these will be really obvious to people, especially if you watch this channel a lot. But anyways, I digress. This might be a long video, so I want to just jump in and get started. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this top 3 in each makeup category video. Top 3 clean makeup products per kind of category. Let's get into it. First one I want to start with is primer. Now I have some good primer. The first one that I love, which I feel like won't be a surprise, is this one from Nude 6. This is their Blot and Blur, and this is great if you have oily skin. I have combo skin. I use it mainly in my T-zone, and this is how I like to apply. I just like to kind of place it down. If it gets a little, this one I let melt in my car, or let it melt somewhere. I don't know where I let it melt, but I let it melt, so I like to use my fingers until it was a little less melty. But just kind of place it, pat it kind of in, blend it out, let it sit for maybe 30 seconds before I go on with the rest of my makeup, and it really controls my oil all day. I wear this sometimes alone. I wear it with makeup. I've sometimes worn it on top of makeup. Most of the time I like to wear it underneath makeup, but sometimes I will just wear it in my T-zone when I'm not really wearing any makeup at all, and this is great. Now for when I want something that's a little bit more on the smoothing, hydrating side, I go with this one from Exa Beauty. This one is their Jumpstart Smoothing Primer. This is great. It has antioxidants in it and all of that. This is a really, really nice primer. I like the way that it wears. I like the way that my skin looks and feels when I wear it, because my skin looks really plumped up, really hydrated, but also it does have a really, really nice smooth look. And when I have, let's say, a little bit more of a dusty, crusty, acne mark that I picked at, don't do that, it's the worst, or a hyperpigmentation mark that's a little bit more on the dry side, this is great for kind of smoothing over that and making it less apparent. I really enjoy this. And then next we have a gripping primer. This one from Cover FX. I love this one. This is just, cannot go wrong. This is really, really good if you need makeup to last all day. For me, I don't find I have pilling with this one. There are other gripping primers I've used that I do feel like sometimes pill on me. This one, I don't have that problem. It gives me really beautiful, glass-like looking skin. I don't know, I'm obsessed with this, and makeup lasts all day with this. You can't go wrong. So the next we're moving on to complexion, and first we're gonna do foundations, which I put as a separate category to tints and stuff like that. So let's get into foundation. So the first foundation that is so good, that I feel like won't surprise anyone, is the Haus Labs foundation. I love this foundation. This is so good. I wear the shade 330 medium cool, I believe. Okay, first of all, you know when you have something for so long, or use it so much that it kind of rubs off on the bottom? Yeah, 330 medium cool. This is great. I don't have a cool tone to my complexion. I'm more of a neutral undertone, but this is a great undertone for me. I love the way that this wears. It looks very skin-like on your face. I prefer to not use a sponge with this. That's my personal preference. When I used the sponge, I felt like it looked more makeup-y. I don't know what it was, but I love to use a brush, really get it in there, then apply it, or just blend it out with my fingers. But again, preference in general would be with a brush. I really like the way that this wears. A little bit of this goes a long way, and it just gives such a beautiful complexion. I think if you have more of an oily complexion, you might not love this as much. However, I do get really oily in my T-zone, and I don't have a problem with this, but it's just a no. It might be a little bit too dewy for some, but I really enjoy this, and I don't even consider this to be a very dewy product. I would say that it's more on the natural to dewy side, but I love this. Next, I have one that if you're a natural finish person, this is for you. This is the Exa Beauty foundation. I wear the shade 270 Rebecca in this. This is so good. I love this. This is such a good, beautiful foundation that has more of a serum-y feel, but it doesn't have the seruminess that sometimes some serum foundations have, where it dries down a little bit more on the dewy side. This one, I at least for my skin, dries down like a true natural finish. Beautiful coverage, beautiful medium coverage. This also has medium coverage. Just both of these are, you can't go wrong, and they both, to me, give me different things depending on what I want the finish to be. And then next we have a stick foundation, and it is this one. This one from Westman Atelier. Their stick foundation is, I love it. Such a beautiful formula, a beautiful natural finish. You definitely can build it up, but if you want more full coverage, I would say that this can go from light to medium coverage. You can definitely build it up, but if you want more coverage than that, this won't be for you. But I really enjoy this. I just kind of stripe it on my face and blend it out with a brush, and I'm always so happy. It has like a nice creaminess to it. The shades are beautiful. My true shade is the shade X, or I think that's the number 10, but I'm not 100% sure because I can't remember my Roman numerals. But it's the shade X. I can also go with the shade above X. I believe it's X 2.5 or something like that. I could be wrong, but I can go up a shade if needed, if I get a little bit more tan, but I really, really enjoy this. This is a beautiful product, beautiful finish. You really, really cannot go wrong with this. And if you're someone who wants a true no makeup look, and you want something that gives you some coverage, but is kind of flexible with the coverage that it gives, and you can also use this under your eyes if you would like. I've used it as a concealer before. My preference isn't to use it under my eyes because I prefer a more liquid. Can you hear that bird? So loud. Anyways, I prefer a more liquid concealer under my eyes, but this does work as a concealer under your eyes if you want something that's kind of an all-in-one. I really enjoy this. Okay, now we're moving on to more tints. Now, tints I really can go back and forth on, and there's so many tints that I love. So I'm going to talk about the ones that I'm loving the most right now. However, Summer Fridays, Tower 28, like there's so many tints that I love. And for tints in general, I'm a little less picky because they're a little bit easier to work with because they have less coverage, if that makes sense. But the first one that I want to talk about that I feel like no one's gonna be shocked by is this one. This one is from Westman Atelier. I love this. This is their complexion drops. I wear the shade X in this as well. This is a great serum-y feel product, but it feels like skincare, like a true serum-y skincare product. And my skin loves this, drinks this up. If you have an oily T-zone, you just need to powder your face with this because this is more of a true serum-y feeling product. So just powder your face, use something that kind of oil controls if you have that. For me personally, although I do have an oily T-zone, I don't feel like it gets too oily, but I do think for some this might be a little bit too on the dewy side if you are a super, super oily complexion person. Or I will say a lot of the time, what you prep your skin with will make a difference on how something wears. So just know, but I love this. This is so, so good. Then next I have one that shocked me and is newer to me, but truly has rocked my world. The Naked Sundays, this is their tinted sunscreen product, or their Cabana Glow. This is so good. This is an SPF of 50 mineral sunscreen, broad spectrum. It is elite, in my opinion, and the finish is beautiful. I'm actually wearing it on my face today. The finish is beautiful. I wear the shade Tanned in this. Now, this doesn't have like all skin tones. The tanned one just happens to work for my skin tone, but they have ones that are lighter. I do hope they kind of expand the shades in this because we just need more shades. They have a blush in it now. They have a bunch of options, but I do hope they expand this shade range specifically because the glow that it gives is so good. It's an SPF, again, of 50. I just feel like this is one that people will love. They did just come out with a tinted sunscreen that is, I don't believe, the same type of finish, but it has a lot of shades. So I do want to grab one and try it out because this is the first product I've ever tried from Naked Sundays, and I love her. So then next we have, I love a lot of skin tints. However, right now, the one that I'm grabbing a ton is this one from CL. Love this. I wear the shade 8 in this, and this is, has kind of a dropper. It is so beautiful. This also has an SPF. I believe it's 30. No, I lied. It's 50. It's an SPF of 50. I love this product. It looks beautiful on the skin. It has more of a serum-y finish. It blends into the skin beautifully. It looks really natural on the skin. It can give me up to, I would say, medium coverage. However, I would say it's a little bit more of a light plus coverage kind of finish coverage wise for this product, for me at least. But I really, really enjoy this, and my skin loves this and looks great with this, and it's just, you can't go wrong. And an SPF of 50 is great. Now we're going to move on to brows, and we have 3 great brow gels. The first one is from Rose Inc. I don't know if this formula is going to change. I just want to say that because I know they just got bought, so we don't know what's going to happen formula-wise, but this is their clear brow gel. I love this brow gel. This is a really good natural finish, clear brow gel that just does everything that I want, holds my brows in place but doesn't look too shiny, has a very nice natural finish to it, and it just does what I need a brow gel to do. This is incredible. So then next, I have one that has more of a sheen to it, and I know a lot of people like something that has a little bit more shine to it, and it's this one from LYS Beauty. Now, there are a lot of incredible brow gels out there. I mean, the Kosas one, specific to the clear, because I stick to clear brow products in general, but the Kosas Clear Brow one is great too. However, the hold that the LYS Beauty Brow Gel has is bananas. I really like the spoolie that it has with it. I do have to clean off the wand because I do feel like there's a lot of product on the wand. To be fair, I have to clean off most wands because there's just too much product on the wand for me. My brows do not move all day. It has a touch more of a sheen to it. Not sheen where it looks like an ice skating rink on my brows, but it does have a little bit more of a sheen. However, the hold of this, I was shocked with how I could have been in a hurricane. My eyebrows wouldn't move. So good. Then lastly, I have another one with great hold, great finish, and just overall, I feel like it's the perfect combination of the two I just talked about. And it is this brow soap from Tude, and it is great. So I will just take a spoolie, either spray it with something, dampen it a little bit, rub it in, and then just put my brows in place. And oh my gosh, this is so good. It lasts all day. It is incredible. Now we're moving on to brow pencils. The first one that I'm going to talk about is this one from Victoria Beckham Beauty. I love this brow pencil. However, it is very expensive for how much product you get, but I can't not include it because it is right now my most grabbed brow pencil. And that to me is a testament. So it has a little bit of a point, but it's not super, super pointed, which is great. But you can, this end here, there is an end that is more of a point that you can kind of feather in true skinny hairs, but also even if you don't use that side skinny hairs, you can still feather in with the full thing. Then it also has a spoolie, which is great. The product lasts really, really long on the skin. Again, there's just not as much product in this container that I would want for the price. I believe it's $34. And I feel like I'm going to get through it relatively quickly. However, it is really good, and I have to mention it. Then another expensive one, but one that the amount of product you get is worth it. So this is from Westman Atelier. This is their brow pencil. I wear the shade Dark Bark in this. Oh, I didn't mention the shade I wore in the Victoria Beckham Beauty. I wear the shade Dark Brown in the Victoria Beckham Beauty. This is what it looks like. So that size of oh my gosh, my dog is so loud. So that's size of a pencil might not work for everyone depending on how thick your brows are, but this product lasts all day. It's the perfect combination of waxy and a traditional pencil, and it has a spoolie on the end, which is great. I really enjoy this. I mean, I've talked about this 1,000 times. One of these, this specific one, this is, I believe, $38. One of these lasts me a year. So I don't have to repurchase. So the price is worth it, because if I calc out how much I have to repurchase regular brow pencils with the amount of product that I get, to this one. This actually ends up being cheaper for me. However, I know it's very expensive, but it is great and I love it. And we have one that I actually was surprised ended up being in my top 3 just because I was thinking about back to the ones I was grabbing the most. And this one from Ilia, oh my goodness. I love this brow pencil. So this is the brow pencil here. It is so beautiful. I wear the shade, I believe, dark brown. I usually wear the darkest shade that isn't black, dark brown. This is great. It wears beautifully. It wears really nicely throughout the day. It lasts really long. It's just great. I really, really like this, and I like the tones and the shades. And the actual, if you can see, the actual pencil is nice, and you get, it's like pinpointed enough. It is just great. And then it also has a spoolie on the end. Big fans of all of these. Now we're going to move on to, we're still going to stick with complexion, but we're going to go with stuff that has more of a sheen to it. So first I want to talk about the one that out of all of these is the standout for me, and it is this product here from Westman Atelier. These are their like illuminating drops, glow drops. So good. I have 2 shades, Peau de Pêche and Peau de Soleil. The Peau de Soleil is the tan one. They are just so good. They feel like skincare again. They sink into the skin. They look so beautiful. They have a beautiful glow to them. They don't look glittery. They are just stunning. Then I have this one, which is newer to me. This is from Typology, and this is also their glow drops. Or is it called glow drops? No, it is called, they're called their glow drops. And I really like wearing this alone as a highlighter, underneath makeup, on top of makeup, mixed with foundations, mixed with face creams. It's just a very nice, versatile product, and the glow is absolutely stunning. You know what, I want to put a little bit on the back of my hand for you here. I have makeup all over my hand. Please ignore. It is just so beautiful, and look at that. Look how beautiful that is. And then, although it is more of a pearlescent shade, so you're like, oh no, it really, look how beautiful that glow is. Oh, it's just stunning. It is so good. And again, it's more of a skincare like product, which I love. It's very, very light, very lightweight. I would say out of the other two that I'm going to talk about the next one, but the Westman and the next one, it is the most lightweight for sure. Next, we have these from Burst. These are their Moonlighting Glow Drops. I believe that's the name. Yeah, Moonlighting Glow Drops. I love these. I have the shade Bronzed and Golden, I believe. Yeah, Golden. These are great. These are so lightweight. They wear really, really nicely. I do think they actually, I just said because I was just thinking, I think they came out with a more pinky shade, like a rose tone. But these are great. They're really lightweight, really thin in a good way, so it doesn't feel like you're wearing a ton of makeup. They're great to wear alone, with other things, mixed with other things. They are just, in my opinion, 10 out of 10, and they're really, really affordable. I believe they're like $17 or $18. I think they are just amazing. Now we're going to move on to concealers, and I feel like it'll be relatively easy to guess which concealers I'm going to be talking about. The first one is the Cool Feet Concealer. I love this concealer. There's so many good ones out there, but this one is just so good. So this is the shade Mango Drop. I love this. It's hydrating, but it's not so hydrating where it creases really easy. What I like to do with this is just apply a little bit, like a dot or two, a little bit like right here. Let it sit for maybe a minute, not even, and then blend it out. I like to use a brush or a sponge, but you can use your fingers, and I like to use my fingers as well. But sometimes you need the fingers like to blend it out at the end, just like to get the edge of it. But I prefer to use a brush or a sponge for the initial blend out, but this is beautiful. Then I have this one. This is from Iris and Romeo. I love this concealer. This is so incredible. It does not crease. Doesn't crease. Does not crease at all. So, and I know that you guys also agree with me because I got so many comments. This is an incredible formula. I wear the shade 7. I have a lot of shades in this, but my main shade is the shade 7. This is an old one. I have a backup of this. Thankfully, one of you reminded me that I needed to reblend, so I reblend. But this is incredible. I love this. I love the way it looks. I love the way it wears. I like that it doesn't crease, obviously, because creasing is just natural because we move our face. Some people are blessed and don't have creasy, like any lines under their eyes at all. And a lot of the time, if you don't have lines under your eyes, or you see people who don't have lines under their eyes, of course, for a lot of people, it's natural, but sometimes they do just have filler or something under their eyes. So just keep that in mind, because I remember when I was younger, I would always be like, why is everyone's under eye so smooth? And then kind of as I got older, I was like, oh, okay. Because of course it's natural for some, but not for all. But this is a great formula. I love this. And the coverage is beautiful. Great medium coverage here too. And then lastly, we have another medium coverage girly. And it is this one from Live Tinted. Now, I was unsure which one I was going to pick, but when I thought about the one that I grabbed just as much or a little less than these, it is the Live Tinted one. I love this. I wear the shade 16 in this. Is it 15? 16. This is a great formula, great serum-y feel, super hydrating, but not drying. To me, on me, it doesn't crease. With this formula, I prefer to actually blend with a sponge. Strangely enough, or not strangely enough, the Kofi One sponge or brush, and the Iris and Romeo, I would say, honestly, for this one, it depends on the day. It depends on my mood. Sometimes I want the blend that I get with a sponge, and sometimes I really just like, depending on how much I apply, sometimes I really just want a brush. So it really depends. But I love all these concealers. They are great. Then for the face, because I know that some people want a concealer they can use for their face, you can use these for your face. But there's only one that I really like stand out for me for pinpointing around the face, hyperpigmentation, acne, and it is this one from Merit Beauty. This is their concealer foundation stick. I wear the shade Buff in this for like my complexion shade. This is incredible. You can also wear it under your eyes. I prefer, again, a liquid concealer under my eyes. However, it is great. Also doesn't grease, doesn't make my, not concealer, to make my mascara run. This is great. I love this for pinpointing around the face. I'm gonna move on to bronzers. I decided to break it up into two categories, creams and then also powders, just because I feel like some people are really particular about which one they prefer. So I felt like it was only right to kind of give the top three in each. So that's what we're gonna do. So first we're gonna start with cream. I love this cream bronzer. I know so many of you love this cream bronzer. The LYS Beauty cream bronzer is just elite. The shade range is great. It's super creamy. It's a little bit more on the dewy side in terms of finish. Not super dewy where you look like wet, but it is a little bit more on the dewy side and a little bit more on the creamy side. And I mean, I'm such a big fan of this formula. This is the shade Harmony. I also have the shade Harmony in the powder. And I have the shade Courage in the powder as well, which is a darker shade, but this is just beautiful. It blends like a dream. It almost blends like butter. Incredible. Next up, I have this from Westman Atelier. This is more of a contour-y product, or they call it a contour, but I definitely use it as more of a bronzer contour. This is the shade Truffle. If I use the shade Biscuit, then it's more of a contour-y shade, but I do like to mix the two because Biscuit is way too light for me on its own, but mixed can kind of create a little bit more of an ashy toned or a gray toned brown for me that works for contour. I don't really contour my face very often though, but I love this as a bronzer. I use this all the time. Again, the shade Truffle has a beautiful natural finish, wears beautifully throughout the day, and also just blends like a freaking dream. It's so good. Then one that is similar for me in terms of the way I wear it, but also the way that I feel like the formula is and the wear of it. It's this one from Ciel. This is their Sculpt and Protect, or Sculpt and Bronze. Sculpt and Protect. This is great. I love to use this. I have the shade 3 in this. Yeah, 3. And I, just like the Westman Atelier one, I use this really similarly as a bronzer, and the formula to me is really similar. I would say that this one is a touch thicker, and this shade is definitely a touch darker than Truffle. However, to me, I kind of can use them in tandem, and they are great and just have beautiful natural finishes to them. Really big fan. Now let's move on to powders. Now, the powders that I grab the most for sure are these ones from Victoria Beckham Beauty. I have 2. I have the shade 3 and the shade 4. The shade 4 is definitely one that I feel like is more of a year-round shade for me, and the shade 3 is more of a winter shade for me. I don't like to go really heavy with my bronze. So from a shade perspective, these are great because I don't like anything too dark. I just feel like it looks really noticeable all of the time. I just want something that looks really natural and light and bronzes me up, gives me dimension without making it look like I'm wearing a lot of bronzer in general. But this is the component. I'm going to show you the 2 shades side by side. And I love the formula here is incredible. If you're a big fan of the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, the formula of this is really similar in the way that it sits and melts into the skin and really doesn't look like powder on the skin. I'm a really big fan of this. And another one that reminds me of the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the way that it kind of melts into the skin, not necessarily the whole formula, but the way that it melts into the skin, is this one from Haus Labs. I love this. Oh, girl. Stay open. I love this powder bronzer. It is great. It melts into the skin beautifully. They have so many shade options, which is incredible. And you honestly can't go wrong. This is the shade medium level 7. This is a great bronze for me, and this is one I can use year round, and I feel good about it as a year round shade. But this formula is so beautiful, and so the powder is so finely milled, and just, I don't know. I'm a really big fan. And then lastly, I really like this formula as well. This is from LYS Beauty, and this is in the shade Harmony. Again, I have the shade Courage in this as well. I really like this powder. Now, what I will say is this powder isn't quite as soft or as finely milled as the Victoria Beckham Beauty or the Haus Labs, but still great shade range. I feel like so many people are going to be able to find a shade in this. And I also really like the way that, again, it just kind of melts into the skin and doesn't look like powder. It's just incredible, especially once you set your face with like setting spray, you're just good to go. It just looks incredible on the skin, and the shades are elite. They have so many shades, and the undertones are perfect. I think so many people are going to love and find a shade that works for them in this formula and in their cream stick. Really good. Now we're moving on to blush. And blush, same with bronzer. I feel like I had to split, well, I didn't have to, but I split it up into categories because some people really only like to wear creams or liquids, and some people only like powders. So I did split it up. First, we're going to start with cream, and the first cream we're going to start with is this one from Ami Collet. This is their multi-stick. This is an incredible formula. I love this. This is my most worn shade, and this is the shade Dune. I have a bunch of their shades, but this is just, it's incredible. It blends like a dream. It just melts into the skin, blends out beautifully, wears beautifully throughout the day, doesn't patch off weird. This formula is so incredible, and I know so many of you that watch this channel love this, and if you haven't tried out this formula, I highly recommend trying it out. I don't know if you can like go to your Sephora or a Credo by you, because I do believe they're carried at Credo now, and try it out just to see, but this is in a beautiful formula. Next up, we have a liquid that if you watch this channel, you're not surprised by, the Saie Beauty Dew Blushes. I love this. And these right now, I just transitioned one shade out, which felt like it was too springy. It was the shade Sweetie, and I switched it out for 2 other shades. But these are currently the ones that are on my vanity that I grabbed the most. We have Spicy here, which is beautiful. This one here is Chili, which is one of the new ones. Not new, but one of the ones that I switched in. It is so beautiful. This is such a good winter, fall pink shade. Then we have this one. Is this Cutie? Yeah, this one's cutie. This is one of their newer shades that is just, look how stunning. Can you see that? It's just so beautiful. And then I would say my most grabbed, because I've not only because I've had it the longest, but also it's just so stunning, is the shade Rosy. Love, melts into the skin, lasts really long on the cheeks. I know so many of you love this, so I'm not gonna like jab on about it or gab on about it, but it is an incredible formula. And then lastly, we have this one, which is the Victoria Beckham Beauty cream stick blushes. But I love this formula. Expensive, but in my opinion, worth it. Two shades here. We have the shade Mini Skirt, which is this one here. And then we have the shade Playground, which is this shade here. And just absolutely stunning formula. Beautiful dry down. Wears so well throughout the day. Just natural, beautiful finish. They're expensive, but they're just that good. They're just that good. And I normally am not like, oh yeah, this crazy expensive something is definitely worth the money. To me, this one is definitely worth the money. Some stuff just isn't. This one is. Now we're moving on to powder blushes, and the first one is this one from CoverFX. This is their monochromatic blush duo. It has a matte and a shimmer, and I just love, this is the shade Warm Honey. I just love this. This formula in general is beautiful, but I love the fact that it gives me two options, and you honestly can't go wrong. And the shimmer is just, I need to just, hold on, let me show the shimmer on the back of my hand really quick. I hope okay, here we go. Look at that sheen. It is so stunning. Let me also do the matte next to it just so we can have like a full picture here. Just so beautiful. And I know this shade is like, are you okay? Why do you like the shade so much? But it is so stunning. It's one that is a good year-round shade for me, and I honestly constantly grab this. And I have my eye on a pink one, but I'm trying to not be crazy because I test so many products, so I'm like, oh, do I need to get another product I know I love? Probably, honestly, but I have a sickness. Then next we have these from Haus Labs, and they are the best blushes. They're such good matte powder blushes. So I have three. This one is Hibiscus. Hold on. Can I? Like, juggling. This is Hibiscus, or Hibiscus Haze is the full name. And I have Pomelo Peach. This is beautiful. This is one of, in spring, this was my favorite thing of life. This is so stunning. And then one of their newer blushes where they kind of resized and redid the packaging and stuff. This is Fire Moon, which is absolutely stunning. And if you like more of a back from the beach, little burnt cheek look, this is beautiful. I love this formula. It lasts really long on the cheeks, wears beautifully. I honestly have nothing bad to say about the formula. It is just incredible. Next up, we have the love of my life. This product here, this is from Bare Minerals. This is their Gen Nude blush kind of bronzer product. I forgot one. I have four because I have, again, a sickness, but I can't stop. The one I forgot is actually my most used. It's the shade Kiss of Pink, but I have Kiss of Rose here, Kiss of Copper, which is, I should probably, I don't know, open them. Kiss of Copper, which is just so stunning. We have Kiss of Rose, which is also, this one is going to be grabbed so much in fall winter, this shade here. Kiss of Pink is more of like a true pink that can kind of go, it's like feels very springy, but it is one that I like to grab a lot. But I did get a new pinky tone that I am obsessed with, so that might replace the Kiss of Rose for me in fall and winter. Okay, can I open this? It is Kiss of Mauve. I mean, look at how absolutely stunning that is. Gagging. Obsessed with you. So incredible. I love this formula. If you like the Hourglass ambient lighting blushes, you might really like these. It has a touch of a sheen to it, but it isn't glittery. At least in my opinion, it's not glittery. It is so beautiful. Let me actually swatch this one for you. And it is nice how it's pressed in the pan. It's not pressed super hard in the pan, but it's not super soft in the pan, so it doesn't fluff up a ton. But the one I'm about to swatch for you is Kiss of Mauve, and we're just gonna do. Oh my god! Look at that sheen. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, I'm so in love. I'm actually wearing it on my cheeks today, and like, look at the glow. Oh, it's just absolutely stunning. I hope yeah, there you can see. Look how stunning that is. Oh, it's just absolutely beautiful. And this formula lasts so long on the cheeks, wears really beautifully on top of products alone. I'm just such a big fan. We're moving on to mascaras. And my top 3 mascaras I feel like are really easy to guess. The Westman Atelier, their I Want You mascara. This is great. I don't have any running or flaking or anything with this. Wears beautifully, holds a curl beautifully. Really big fan. The love of my life, my most used, most loved mascara for sure, is the Jones Road Beauty mascara. This one gives me such beautiful volume, length, everything. And it has more of a macaroni noodle shape wand, and this is great. Again, I don't have any running or anything with this. I don't have any flaking. This one definitely, out of all of the one I'm mentioning today, is the top of all of them. And then lastly, we have this one, which when I was going through which ones were my top ones, at least right now, it has to be this one from Victoria Beckham Beauty. It's their newest one. And it also has kind of a macaroni noodle shape. And what I love about this is, okay, I just got this all over the container. Am I kidding? It's just, it never ends. I'm never not getting makeup everywhere. But this is great. It's a tubing mascara, so it lasts all day, truly, and you need to remove it with like water. Even if I try micellar water or something, going over your eyes with water is key to removing this. This is really, really beautiful, and it makes my lashes look incredible. And this is one that I also like. Tubing mascaras in general are what I like to bring on vacation, and I did bring this one on vacation with me, even though I didn't really wear mascara a lot, but the few times that I did, I wanted a tubing mascara, and I actually ended up going with this one. Really big fan of all of these. And now we're gonna move on to eyeshadows. Now, the first one I want to talk about, the Rowan Beauty eyeshadows. I mean, I can't stop and I won't stop. So this is the Gold Lust palette, and this is the Mood Forever palette. Gold Lust is definitely my most used. It's just stunning, but all of these, I'm obsessed with these. The formula is so beautiful, so luxurious, so expensive feeling. And you don't run out really, really quickly of these, which is incredible. I am such a big fan of these palettes in general. They're just absolutely incredible. Next up, we have single eyeshadows. In general, I prefer a single eyeshadow over a whole palette. And the first one that I love, or just formulas that I love, I have multiple of these. I only grabbed one, is from Jones Road Beauty. And their single eyeshadows, so incredible. Such minimal fallout. I have a gray one, a dark brown one, even though I cannot find the dark brown one. I don't know what happened, but I love this formula. It blends so beautifully. It looks so beautiful on the eye. It lasts really long. You really can't go wrong. They have mattes, but they also have ones with shimmer. I also have the shimmer shade I have is the shade Patina, if I'm remembering correctly, and that one is stunning. But I'm a really big fan of the Jones Road Beauty single eyeshadows. And next I had a bunch of single eyeshadows that I wanted to talk about that I think are great. The Ritual des Filles, their single eyeshadow that is more of a gloss, obsessed with that. The Kulfi eyeshadow. That eyeshadow does not move. It is incredible. But there was one that kind of pushed those out of the way. So I want to talk about it. And it is the Victoria Beckham Beauty eyeshadow. I talked about this in a recent video, I believe. I think it'll be a video before this. I've been testing this out for a really long time, and this is incredible. I have the shade Tea Rose in this, and this formula is so beautiful. I'm actually wearing it on my lids today. So beautiful. It just lasts really long on the lid. It wears beautifully. It has beautiful shimmer to it, but it's not too like glittery. But when you do get close to a mirror, let's say, which is what I'm going to do, you do see glitter, but it has more of a, as you can see in the monitor, more of a sheen to like, not like big chunky bits of glitter, but you do see bits of glitter or like shimmery bits in it. I don't know, I'm a big fan. It's a beautiful formula, but again, the Ritual de Fille, their eye gloss and the Cool Feet cream eyeshadow, both incredible formulas that I also love. We're gonna move on to eyeliners. So first I wanna talk about, no one's shocked by this, the Victoria Beckham Beauty eyeliners. I love these. I have brown, black, and then also this shade here, which is cinnamon. I am such a big fan of this formula. You honestly can't go wrong with this. I like to use it to tightline. I like to use it to smudge out. I like to use it to just line my lid. If I'm just lining my lid, I let it sit for a second before I move on to anything else because I like to let it kind of settle down and then move on. And then for me, at least, it doesn't move. It's great. And I do have oily lids. I really like this formula, but what I love the most about this formula is I like the way that it wears in my waterline and in my tight line, but also I like the way that it smudges. It's incredible. Then, this one is so good. The Rowan Beauty eyeliner is incredible, specifically to me in the shade Shimmering Brown. It's just so stunning. It's very similar to Cinnamon from Victoria Beckham Beauty. I hope you can see. It's so beautiful. I love to wear this in my lower lash line. I like to wear it in my waterline. It is just great. It blends out really nicely and it smudges really nicely. And I really, 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 really like the way that this wears. Next up, we have a product that's kind of a two-in-one. So it's not just an eyeliner. I was thinking of mentioning the Tower 28 eyeliner, which I'm obsessed with. That's such a good eyeliner. However, I needed to mention this, and I would be remiss not to mention this. It is the About Face Smoke Stick. So one side has powder eyeshadow, but this side has kind of like it's like a crayon style eyeliner product, and this does not move. I like to take, when I want it to be an eyeliner, I like to take just a slanted brush, dip in, and then put it on. Incredible, and literally doesn't move. Literally doesn't move. It's incredible. If I'm not talking about the About Face and you want like a true eyeliner, then the Tower 28 eyeliner, specifically in the shade Draw Me, because it's just such a beautiful shade. You can't go wrong. Now we're going to move on to lip liners, and I feel like majority of these are going to be really easy. The first one are the Jones Road Beauty lip liners. I love these. The formula is incredible. The wear is incredible, but the shades are amazing. And if you struggle finding lip liners that work for your skin tone because they're too pink or they're too something, try the Jones Road Beauty lip liners. I have two shades, Rosewood and Cognac. I'm a huge fan of both of these. This formula is incredible. I mean, I have backups of this formula. That's when you know you love a lip liner, because I have been done so dirty by brands where I love a lip liner. I'm looking at you, Marc Jacobs. And then all of a sudden they get rid of it. And then what am I supposed to do? Fight for my life to find an alternative? So I have backups of lip liners that I love. This is incredible. Then another one I have backups of, the Victoria Beckham Beauty lip liner, specifically in the shade 04, but I love the lip liner in general. I have 04, 02, 05, and I also have the red shade. Just, you can't go wrong, and this formula is just the best. And I know so many other people love this formula in general. This is the shade 04 on the back of my hand. I am obsessed. And then I was trying to think of what lip liner I grab when I'm not grabbing these, and it's this one from RMS Beauty. What shade is this? Sunset Nude. This is so beautiful. I love this shade, and the formula is beautiful, wears really nice throughout the day. I have no complaints. This is an incredible one, and I love that it has a lip brush on the end, because it is nice when some lip liners come with brushes on the end. So good. Now we're going to move on to like hydrating products for the lips. First one is this one, which I know that if you've watched this channel before, you know how obsessed I am with this product. This is from Rowan Beauty. This is their liquid lip balms. I'm obsessed with these. My most repurchased shade is this one. It's called Charlie. It is the most beautiful pinky tone. And this product is so hydrating. It's more hydrating for me than a traditional lip balm or even lip mask at times. These are so incredible. I cannot run out of these, and running out of these in winter would be criminal. So hydrating. The pigmentation is stunning. Overall, just softens my lips literally immediately when I have dusty, crusty moments, which happens because I live in the northeast of the US. I don't know if I said that. So dusty, crusties on the lips, it's gonna happen. And this product smooths my lips out, hydrates my lips, makes my lips look smooth, plumped up, all the things. I'm obsessed with these. Then we have something that's newer to me, but you cannot tell me by the end of the year this will not be in my end of year favorites. This is from Edam, and this is their Lift Softening Balm. And which one is this? I have two shades. I have the shade Fig Sauce here. I don't know where the other one that I have is. The other one I have is Bisa Glaze, but I'm going to put some of this on top here. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with this. It's so good. It smooths out my dryness that I have, and it just softens everything up. And then what I notice throughout the day is that the dryness that I have almost like sloughs off by the end of the day, and also like it smooths throughout the day, and then by the end of the day it almost like removes in like chunks sometimes, depending on how dry your lips are. If my lips are not that dry, I don't have that, but this is incredible. I am such a big fan, and this is newer to me, but this, again, I don't think anyone can tell me that this will not be my favorite by the end of the year. The lip butter balms from Summer Fridays. I love these. I have a bunch of shades. I also have a red, I have orange, I have so many shades in this. My most used shade is this one, which is brown sugar, I believe. Yeah, brown sugar. It is incredible. Really hydrating, smooths out my lips. The Ole Henriksen, their tinted ones aren't as hydrating, in my opinion, as their original ones. So that's why I didn't mention those, and I wanted to mention tinted products. But this is really, really, really good. Now I want to talk about lipsticks really quick. My first favorite lipstick is this one from Merit Beauty. It's their one that is more sheen, not their matte one. Their matte one's great, but this one is by far my favorite. I have so many shades. The ones I have here are L'Avenue and 1990, which is, 1990 is just the fall lip color of dreams, in my opinion. And L'Avenue is also one that I will be grabbing a ton in fall because it's such a beautiful berry tone. I am just such a big fan, super hydrating. There's nothing wrong that I can say about this. I will say that because it's not like a more matte product, it's not going to last quite as long as a matte product on your lips. However, I love this, and it keeps my lips feeling good and looking good, and it doesn't disappear and like completely fade from my lips. I'm a really big fan of this. Then for something that's more of a lipsticky tinty product, but I'm keeping it in this category because it's a lip color that's kind of in a tube. It's this one from Jones Road Beauty. It's their lip tint. I am such a big fan of this. I have two shades, Nude Rose and Cocoa Rose, I think. Cocoa Rose. Both beautiful shades. Cocoa Rose is, oh my gosh, look how beautiful Cocoa Rose is. Just so stunning, so hydrating, but pigmented. So it feels like more of a traditional lipstick, in my opinion, but a more hydrating traditional lipstick. I'm a really big fan of these. And then lastly, this is specific to a shade. And anyone that's watched this channel before, or you've been here since the beginning, you will not be shocked by this because this is my perfect, like true, like beigey nude shade. And because of that, and it's so hard to find for people that are my complexion and deeper, I feel like I have to mention it. This shade here, which is Vegas from Kosas in their more traditional lipstick, is incredible. It has the perfect enough pink, enough beige, enough peach almost, that creates the perfect nude lipstick color. This is the color I wore on my wedding day. And I have to mention that because I feel like a wedding day lipstick shade is just the best. I wear this with a brown lip liner because I have to wear, for me, I feel like if I don't wear a lip liner with most lipsticks, I look crazy. Even if it's a darker tone, I feel like it needs a lipstick. But this is incredible. It's really hydrating. It lasts really long on the lips though, which is nice. So it doesn't fade immediately. It feels like more a traditional lipstick, which is what I love about it. And the longevity is there with it. It isn't so slippy that it moves around, but it stays hydrating. So you don't have like tight lips by the end of the day. You know what I mean? It just feels good throughout the day. I am such a big fan of this lipstick. And yeah, I think that's it. Is it? I feel like I forgot something. Oh, highlighter. I forgot highlighter. It's right in front of me. I forgot highlighter, so we're going to do that really quick. So, oh wait, and powder. Okay, powder's going to be really quick, so I'm going to do powder. I have 2 favorite powders. I don't have 3. This one from Ami Collet, you cannot go wrong with this. It's so good. It's a perfect soft matte. It's incredible. Makes makeup last all day. Doesn't look like powder on the skin. Doesn't make my skin feel tight or look tight. Then this one from Westman Atelier, which I know is insane because it's so expensive, but this is an incredible powder. You can use it for blotting. You can use it to set your makeup. I like to have it in my bag to kind of touch up throughout the day if needed. This is an incredible powder, and this is one that I hate to say, like, I'll repurchase it when I run out. It's incredible. I do want to say that I do wish the component was a little less heavy. It's really heavy, so depending on, I've had it fall out of a bag before because it's so heavy, but that's okay. I am such a big fan. I have the translucent shade. Can't go wrong. Okay, let's finish up with highlighter really quick. My most grabbed for sure is the Minori highlighter in Champagne. I am such a big fan of this product. It has such a beautiful sheen to it. I do wish the component was a little less deep, but that's okay. It is so stunning. Can you see that? Look at that. Look at that sheen. Ugh, it's so beautiful. I'm obsessed with this. Next up, we have this one from Rose Inc. And this is in the shade Prismatic. I love this. I don't know if the formula is going to change again because they just got bought, but I love this formula. And the shade reminds me a lot of the shade from Minori. Okay, the swatching that I'm doing is so bad. There we go. I hope you can see. This is the Rose Inc one is right here. It's so beautiful and it just melts and disappears into the skin. And then lastly, we have this one from Rowan Beauty, which I love. This is newer to me, but I'm a really big fan of this. This is the shade Glazed. Should I do it on the back of my hand? I'll do it on the back of this hand. And although it looks white and you're like, okay, that's absolutely terrifying. Once you blend it out, it doesn't have that white cast. It has a very light, I would say, pearlescent look to it, but look at that sheen. It is so beautiful. And I love to use this, so I like to kind of put it on the back of my hand, tap it out a little bit, and then apply it to the high points of my cheeks, and I love. And yeah, that's it for this video. That is it for my top 3 per category. I would love to know down below which products do you have in your top 3 that were in my top 3. Let me know down below. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.